One of the things that people are asking for the most right now is sometimes called precision medicine. We want to know what works best for whom, not just what works best across the population. So I want to know what is the best treatment for me given my characteristics. And we've always wanted to know that. It's becoming more feasible when we have bigger data sets that can have more information on unique types of people. So I think there's a lot of interest in that area, and I'm working on methodology focused on that question. At the same time, it's an opportunity as well for mistakes. So for biases to creep in because they're methods of analysis that we really haven't used that much. So we need to consider, again, how did all those principles that we followed for years, how did those generalize to this new setting where we're trying to estimate precision medicine effects for individuals. Comparative effectiveness means a lot of things to different people, but we tend to be focused on what treatments work best and for whom. So if I take a treatment compared to another alternative, what's the best approach for me, and how does that differ from someone else depending on my characteristics? I think most people agree that the best way to compare treatments is through randomized clinical trials. However, there's a lot of conditions for which it's not ethical to randomize. Like I'm working on a study of hysterectomy, and women don't want to be randomized to something so invasive. And there's other questions of very, very long-term outcomes. So if you stay on a statin for 20 years, is that safe? It's not reasonable and feasible to do a trial for 20 years. So there's a lot of questions that won't be answered in trials. And then big data is offering more opportunities. There are more data sources like claims, EHR, where we can actually try to answer these questions now, where we maybe couldn't in the past. We're also trying to learn how to design observational research, comparative effectiveness studies from big data sources so that they mimic the ideal target trial. With respect to the studies, the benefits are probably that they answer questions that can't be answered by trials. If we could always use a trial, we probably would. With respect to the methodology, the goal is to get as close as we can to a randomized trial using observational data, and so all of the methods really focus on that in some way. How are we going to replicate the ideal aspects of a trial, even though we're in observational data? So one of the biggest challenges that I've been focused on lately is trying to identify new users of treatment. Randomized trials have a clear initiation point, and they follow you after it. Data that's sitting in a registry or an observational data source has been around for a while, and you really want to find that comparable initiation point. When did you start treatment and how? And so there's a lot of methodology now being developed, and then I'm working on trying to figure out how to identify appropriately that start of an observational study so that we get those new users. There's a lot of support here for innovative methods and for taking the time to understand the science. So the collaboration with clinicians is outstanding. I don't think I've experienced that anywhere else, where I get to deeply understand who's currently being treated, why are you selecting treatment the way you do, and what would be the trial you would design. We do trials and we do observational research, so a lot of times I'm able to talk to someone about what would be the target trial, and then I can back in the observational data to mimic that target. So the support of a scientific team that really understands an array of methodology is really helpful.